New member shoutout to Sweat and Kidia27. This is the second chapter of the Super Vegeta Den redraw project by rogeru. He's currently making things happen one page at a time, so if you want to support him, contact the Dragon Ball Guy 75 on Twitter to find out how, or sign up to be one of our members or patrons, as any funds collected there are used for various Dragon Ball ideas as well. Entering Kame House, in what would normally be near the very beginning of Dragon Ball Z, Bulma and Vegeta stop in to visit some old friends. Although a close ally to the Earthlings, Vegeta still isn't the most cuddliest of heroes. Near the ground, it appears they've brought some extra company. Krillin, Roshi, and Turtle smile ear to ear at the sight of him after so long. The little one catching the hermit's attention. In disbelief, he stutters to ask if that's really their child. The proud mother can only giggle in coy confirmation. Nudging him forward, she urges the boy to introduce himself. Though very different from Gohan, one can only wonder about the latent potential this child possesses. Shyly clutching his sword, he offers his greetings to everyone, telling his name is Trunks and he is 4 years old. Returning the formality, Krillin can't help but grin how well-mannered he is, complimenting it looks like she raised him right. Always the confident one, Bulma boasts, of course, it's her they're talking here. But that can also be attributed to Vegeta not having a clue how to teach manners. The Saiyan's guilty face clearly confirming this fact. At any rate, Krillin is still stoked to see his friend become a dad, who himself doesn't seem quite as excited. Roshi draws attention to the deadly weapon the boy is wielding, complimenting that's quite a sharp-looking sword he has there. But naturally, his mother assures it's merely his favorite toy. Curious, Krillin can't help but ask if Trunks has a tail. Most likely in fear King Kong will go terrorizing West City. Breaking the fourth wall and turning to the camera, Vegeta questions the audience if they want to know. Cue Ball lost on who he's talking to. But either way, the child doesn't appear to have one. Whether born without it or removed later remains unclear. Bulma then hands the Turtle Master a sponge cake to celebrate the reunion, who's quite grateful for the gift, but would have happily settled for a little puff of a fine commemorative cigar. Yeah, that's what he meant. Taking his tension away from Roshi's perverted, and in this case, life-threatening demeanor, something doesn't sit right with the Saiyan. The old-timer, thinking it's his inappropriate behavior causing the scowl on his face, he profusely apologizes, stammering it was only a joke. But it's actually due to the immense power that just appeared on the planet. What's more, it's making its way here rapidly. Dashing out the front door, his wife calls after him. Staring off into the distance, Bulma demands to know what the big idea is trying to run off like this. Though, he doesn't even hear her through his intense focus. Regardless, it's obvious whoever they are, their ki is far weaker than his own. Wondering if Piccolo could have been up to some intense training the last few years. The other fighters try to hone in on it as well, Krillin able to a bit easier than Roshi. Whoever it is, Vegeta alerts they're here, first appearing as a speck in the sky. I mean, who else would it have been? Satisfied, he utters it looks like he's found the son of King Vegeta. But if normally Raditz would venture to Earth in search of his brother, why has he come here today? Without showing any sign of hostility, Vegeta sends the, at worst, trespasser flying into the ocean. Krillin cracks, be it alien, demon, and everything in between. They all stand no chance against our story's hero.
Oh crap! He won't get away! What? How does he know where I am?
Throwing him around like a rag doll, Vegeta can't help but get a little bored with the battle. Looking side to side, he finds himself growing nostalgic. By random chance, he's happened upon the place he and Krillin trained as children. Even though it was more or less Krillin training, and himself just going through the motions. The other Saiyan slowly gets back on his feet, all the while huffing and puffing trying to catch his breath. Showing to know a bit of his own origin, Vegeta informs he's aware the two are of the same race. His stubbornness to not go down even while so clearly outmatched only supports this. But Raditz merely finds excitement in seeing the prince maintained his elite form, even after growing up on this backwater world. Not near his full potential, but still very impressive. Grunting, he can kill him without hearing the reason he's come here if he wants, but everything that has been happening between them is being transmitted to his two partners, so if he chooses to do so, they'll be coming next to avenge their fallen brethren. Fascinating. Savagely taking out Raditz without so much as even giving him the opportunity to explain himself. It's quite ironic, even in a reality where he's never met the man, Vegeta still kinda hates him, and he was also doomed to die in pretty much the same way. On a faraway planet, one of the cities below lies in utter devastation as an aura of dread lingers in the air. Listening in, Nappa snarls in frustration at hearing Raditz went and got himself killed. Attempting to speak to his aggressor directly, the warrior takes solace in the belief whoever is on the other side of this transmission must really be the Prince of all Saiyans, proving the rumor of his survival true.
Hard to believe you made friends with those pathetic Earthlings!
Realizing what the invader said was true, Vegeta supposes the man talking to him is one of the guy's alleged partners. Confirming, the Brute informs they will arrive to his world in 3 months, anxious to wipe the floor with the Saiyan Prince. So does this mean Raditz only went searching for Vegeta to kill him? Though since he's basically One Punch Man in this story, go ahead and rage at that irony as you will. He scoffs he'll be surprised if he manages to even touch him.
Listen, Vegeta!
Silently noticing this isn't the same person speaking as before. It's Goku, or rather Kakarot, who sports an enormous scar on his forehead. For the sake of Earth, if he took a savage blow to the head, hopefully it had the same effect as in canon. Who taunts he can't wait to show Mr. Elite here what a real fight is, seeming to have a prejudiced grudge against him for his title. And although he can't sense his power being so far away, Vegeta gets a distinct feeling this guy will be very different than anyone he's ever faced before. Snickering, they'll be seeing each other soon. No further dialogue is exchanged as the transmission ends. Vegeta stares blankly for a moment to process what just happened. After all these years, for whatever reason, his race has decided to contact him. Looking over to his partner with a sly expression,
Look at you! Run-of-the-mill, low-class warrior, talking to an elite like that!
Not appreciating being reminded of the former Saiyan class system, Kakarot warns Nappa he won't hesitate to kill him. Knowing how much more powerful he is than himself, the foolish oaf apologizes for his insolence. Unable to count the times, Kakarot here has barely escaped death in battle. He's become much stronger than the average elite. Like a madman, he'd rush in head first, no matter the opponent. Not to mention how simply cold-blooded he is, as he just listened to his own brother die and didn't bat an eye. Barking it's time for he and his subordinate to leave, Nappa jumps to his feet, before asking if they should wait for Lord Frieza, and if it's really a good idea to depart without his permission. Offering this thought a minor pause, he states it doesn't matter. As if nothing short of Saiyan reasons, the pair head for Earth. Back at Kame House, Vegeta explains everything, the others visibly concerned with this news, though he's rather confident in his ability to take care of them when they arrive, believing there's no need for anyone to worry. And if sensing Raditz's power is any indication of what these two additional guys will be packing, it doesn't seem Krillin, Roshi, or any of the other fighters of Earth will be capable of holding a candle to him, so there's no choice but to solely rely on Vegeta once more. Though Bulma grows worried, wondering if he should really be dealing with this alone. But unshaken, he's sure he'll win. And as promised, 3 months later, the Saiyans land on our world. Emerging from his pod, Kakarot lays eyes on the city around him, gazing upon the Earth for himself for the first time. At Kame's lookout, the Guardian senses full well what's going on, feeling one of these invaders is quite different than the ones before him. But does he mean in terms of power, or something else on the inside? The ground shaking beneath their feet, onlookers begin to move in on the area to figure out exactly what's going on, believing a bomb must have surely gone off, or possibly a meteor hit. Now, don't make a fuss. Showing no mercy, it's Kakarot this time around, not Nappa, who eradicates the nearest city. Even the likes of Kame House trembles under the strength of the Saiyans. Rushing into battle solo, though immensely powerful, essentially never having a genuine challenge in his life. Will Vegeta alone be enough to take care of Nappa and Kakarot?